Hey there, it's Buzz, just out here in my garage where my road cases sit, packed full of gear, not going anywhere for the past 7 months, but that's okay. That's all right. Um, I want to get something off my heart here that's been weighing on me all week. Um, on Thanksgiving weekend, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, which was just last weekend, a young man in our region, just a year older than our son was killed in an ATV accident. And gosh, I can't stop thinking about his parents and what they're dealing with right now. My heart goes out to them. Um, there's just no easy way to get through this. There's no easy way to get through this. And this is where you lean on friends and family and loved ones. Um, I wish there was something I could say. I wish there was some sort of magic words that would take the pain away. And, there isn't. But, if those folks specifically should come across this video, I do want you to know that, you know, you will be okay. I know it doesn't seem like it. There's no way I can convince you of that, or probably anybody else, but just trust me when I tell you that um, you will be okay. Maybe not sort of the textbook definition of okay that we're all familiar with, but you'll be okay. Um, but this is the time for friends and family to hold them up and be there for them. Don't worry about coming up with the right words, because you're not going to have the right words. There are no words that can take away the pain. Um, you know, be there with a meal, an ear, a shoulder to cry on. Just be there for them. To be honest, the one of the most welcomed and sincere reactions or responses that I got in the days after Garrett passed, it was on the day of the service. Actually, it was after the service, and I finally connected with a friend I hadn't seen since before the accident, a good friend named John. And he was in my living room with a few other close friends who had gathered after the service. And he just came up to me. He had tears in his eyes, and all he said was bloody hell, and wrapped his arms around me. And it was so sincere and so welcomed and so appreciated. The sincerity is, I think, what's appreciated more than having the right words necessarily. And to those folks who are dealing with this right now, you do whatever you got to do. You scream, you vent, you cry, break something, pound on something, whatever you got to do. Crying is great. I've come to learn crying is awesome. Been almost 3.5 years for us, and I still have a good cry once in a while. Maybe not as frequently, but I do. As a matter of fact, it was just a few days ago. I was out here in the garage, and I don't know why. Maybe a trigger I didn't recognize, who knows, but I just had a good ball. I don't mind saying I wept. And the thing about crying is it's actually a release. It's an emotional release, but it's also a chemical release. It releases cortisol that builds up in your body from anxiety and stress and whatnot. So you feel great after you've had a good cry. The only thing is when you're in the midst of that cry, you don't feel like you're doing so well. You feel like you've lost control. You feel like that any progress you've made on this path is just fallen to the wayside. You feel like you're wallowing because you feel like you've lost control. But the fact of the matter is you're just crying. And when you're done crying, you do feel better. You get back on track, and you continue to put one foot in front of the other, step by step, moment by moment. And there's certainly no shame in that. So, to anybody who's dealing with a level of grief, don't be afraid to let it out, because it's very, very helpful. But I really wish, like I said, I wish there was something I could say to really alleviate the pain that these parents are going through, because I got to tell you, it is the worst. It is the worst, and I feel for them. I really do. Um, and again, I just want to stress to those parents and to anyone who maybe is facing a similar loss, even if it's not the loss of your child, you know, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't forget to breathe. You know, that is one of the single best pieces of advice I ever got in my life. And it came to me through a text at the funeral service for my dad. And it was my co-host, April, who just, her timing was perfect. And that's all it said was, don't forget to breathe. And when I read that text, I realized I was pretty much holding my breath at that moment. So yeah, don't forget to breathe. Breathe, cry, let it out. And of course, at the end of it all, just keep moving forward. That's all you can do right now. One foot in front of the other, one moment at a time.